this. Don't do this. You don't have to do this. You legitimately can just not. You cannot. You know what I'm saying? There's a realm of possibility for this not to be true, you know? There's a realm of possibility. In 2022, the lawsuit Post Malone and his ex-girlfriend Diaz. Diaz hired the firm to represent her in negotiation with Post to support following their 2018 breakup. The two dated for 3 years. Said Diaz was seeking pay to a partner to split with the two whenever. Wait, what? Palimony, which is a term for support paid to a partner after a split when the two were never married. What the fuck is that? Huh? I didn't even know this was a thing. You could be paid from someone who you were never married to. Colloquial term to refer to a court's award of financial support or assets to one party of a non-marital relationship following a breakup. What? The fuck is that? Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but that's just crazy to me. I didn't even know they could do that. They claimed Malone convinced Diaz to drop them and work out a private deal with him. Rapper allegedly paid X $350,000 to settle her claims. Allegedly, they say. Allegedly. Nigga, what? Firm sued demanding damages for Diaz and Post cutting it out of commissions allegedly owed. The rapper recently demanded the lawsuit be thrown out of court. He argued he had no control over Diaz. He claimed he called the claims frivolous, unreasonable, and without foundation. Diaz previously moved to dismiss the lawsuit. Newly filed motion. They fought back against Post's claim that he had no control over Diaz. They claimed Diaz told them he physically abused her during the relationship. The firm said Post pressured and coerced defendant Diaz into dismissing her lawyer. The lawyer said Post did so in order to avoid paying a higher settlement sum and in order to continue manipulating the victim, using his money, power, and control over her to prevent her story from being shared with the world and to avoid near certain litigation. Defendant Diaz unfortunately gave in to the duress to her own detriment, separating her from her legal team she desperately needed, blah, 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 blah. Rather than face accountability, Post Malone downplays the control that he had over his girlfriend, attempting to portray the action and twist his clearly wrongful behavior as somehow akin to a party trying to stifle competition. Put simply, coercion and pressure of the romantic partners combined with the physical and emotional abuse in violation of the penal code is an effort to deprive that person of competent legal counsel, and with the knowledge that the actor is also depriving legal counsel of its attorney's fees, constitutes an independent wrongful act, the motion reads. What the fuck? During the course of my representation, she suffered acts of domestic violence during her dating relationship with Post Malone, which is now believed to be related to Ms. Diaz's breach of contingency fees agreement. Ms. Diaz provided me with photos and text messages with Post and information relating to the defendant's Post abuse. He said the hard and detailed photographic and text evidence showed physical abuse within the romantic relationship and emotional abuse and control within the relationship. Further, he said evidence showed Post leveraged his position as one of the most famous musicians in the world to ensure Miss Diaz did not work, make her own money, or celebrate certain competitive musicians, did not interact with certain men, and did not have independence. I believe the previous abuse of Miss Diaz was a driving factor in the coercion and pressuring of Miss Diaz to breach the contingency fee agreement, and such duress is what led her to do so. Post has yet to respond to the claims in court. The case is ongoing.
And I'll touch that nigga. It's down in here. I'm with the money team.
You're not buying it? What do you mean you're not buying it? Not buying what? That was a lot. Doesn't he drink too? Yeah, these aren't. Stop. It's really sounding like the lawyer wants his money. I wouldn't assume that a lawyer will put his reputation, or even the defendant, or not the defendant in this case. He's the defendant, but I wouldn't assume. Okay, that's all you start. Oh, okay, my bad. I wouldn't assume that you would put your shit on the line if you didn't have evidence. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
it's going down in here.
I don't think that this is like out of the blue. I don't think it's not real, bro. Blaming the innocent men for another man's actions is beyond me. Sexism is just as bad as racism from both genders. I don't know where you came from. There's been dumber lawyers. I mean, to say that you have photographic evidence and it not be true, like that just being an outright and blatant lie, I don't know if that's like, I don't think that would be I don't think that would be wise. Knowing that you're about to be debunked, I don't think that would be a wise situation. So I'm pretty sure that they got something at least. And that strong photographic evidence is like, nah, like we got some pics. Now, does that immediately lead to guilt on one side? It would if text messages also indicate that there is some like, level of apology going on or some level of acknowledgement that he did something. I, for 50%, did not even know about, what is that word? Palimony? I didn't even know that was a thing. I had zero idea about that. And to me, the fact that you would do that and pay whatever amount, potentially settling with your ex-girlfriend, maybe you got her to move out and move away from her people, and you feel like a level of financial responsibility for her, current and future lifestyle. That's the only way that I could see that making sense. And if that's the case, that might also lead to, further claims that you were isolating her. It's just never a good... That's never a good look at the very least. So it don't look good at the very least. I will say that. And I touched that nigga. Post Malone apparently got some allegations from an ex-girlfriend that's been going on for a couple years, but the case is really just now being publicized. But there was a settlement apparently made or not made a couple years ago, and now it's come back up. That there could have been some coercion going on. So I don't know. It seems more likely than not. I would say that, but you can't say. You got to wait until more information is released. But yeah, it don't paint them in a good light. I'll say that. Big weirdos in chat defending someone they don't know. Parasocial relationships are crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going based off likelihood here. Likelihood. I don't think they be like, oh yeah, we got hard photographic proof and we have none. I don't think so. And just history repeating itself. It's a common theme, bro. It's pretty common. Gotta wait till more information comes out. Chill, Shawn, chat finna come after you for that one. Did I say that just now? I mean, you do have to wait for more info to come out, but more likely than not, based off of what that little article that I just read was, it's something in the lines of, power basically being stripped from an individual into a position where like they can't really make any decisions for themselves, and agreeing to a situation where you pay an ex that you're not married to me, that just sound crazy. That already, I didn't even know that was a thing. So like, to me, that's just like, yo, that's wild. Like the fact that you agreed to that lets me know probably a little bit more is going on than that's being let on. That's what I would say. So it don't look good, I'll say that. But you still got to wait for more. Why they arguing in the chat? I don't see nobody arguing. Maybe my eyes just aren't, scanning the environment correctly then. I don't know. It's sad because he's definitely wrong, but he's still going to be okay because of his money. I mean, sure. That sounds crazy. The only thing that could really apply if the partner was abusive towards each other. I don't choose sides until I see for myself. Even the slight bit of evidence can turn me on the other side, so I like to wait. That's fine. That's fine. You know, the biggest issues with these cases is when they get publicized, people tend to jump on, you know, a particular bandwagon without knowing anything. If you just don't know and you just like, oh, I'm waiting on more information to come out, and you just silent and just seeing like how it plays out, that's fine. That's what I would have preferred people do with the Tory and Meg shit, but people had to have a conspiracy theory, the Illuminati, they want Tory's masters. She didn't really get shot. It's just like you start seeing just dumb shit. So just wait it out if that's how you feel. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of those folks, bro. We had a lot of those folks. Anyway, though, we gonna see and monitor how that plays out over the next however long that would take. And yeah, what's your opinion on delving back into the artists if they were clear of charges but not on a weird loophole? Like Rex Orange County was legally acquitted, but his music doesn't hit the same. I don't know shit about Rex Orange County, and I don't really know about his allegations or any of his charges or nothing like that. So I couldn't really speak on it. I never listened to Rex Orange County, so for me, I just wouldn't. I'm not missing nothing. It comes to it comes to abuse against women. I always believe women due to childhood biases, but I also open the possibilities of somebody lying. Yeah, I'm just about likelihood and shit like that. You know, likelihood, real cases that have been thrown out, real cases that have been, dismissed, or the person got away with it, and I know for a fact, or somebody knows for a fact that they did it. Just about likelihood, but I'm going in with an open mind to all of it, but you know, I can't get rid of that part of my brain either. Who really cares about Megan Thee Stallion? Honestly, as a musician, I don't know, but obviously a lot of people did. Like, I don't know what you mean by that. I feel like you can elaborate on that, but I don't know if that was just like if you thought I was gonna react negatively to that, or I don't know what it is that you're trying to say with that. All right, now I have a mission, right, chat?